actually easy. Uber Elder level 68, Volatile that Auto Miner, dude. Nice build, TM. Wasn't too hard. Yeah, there we go. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you a kind of, very interesting and mechanically 200 IQ mining, like not mining in terms of Bitcoin, like mining the mines, like auto miner, like detonate mines, like I never play these trap and mine builds. I was never a big fan of those because I am this kind of super lazy player, as you know me. Usually 1 button characters, maximum 2 button characters is fair enough for my type of playstyle, okay? I want to make it as easy as possible. And that's why we're gonna play an auto miner. It's a volatile dead auto miner, and as you saw in the intro clip, this character is at the moment level 68 and has already killed the Uber Elder, and the full clip, the full Uber Elder kill, is at the end of the video as an additional showcase footage. Showcase footage. Okay, so I'm here to just want to give you my first opinions about this build. It's actually the second time I'm playing that. The first time was in 3.3, 3.4, somewhere at that range. So that was super at the end of the league, so I didn't really bother to bring another video at that point, like 2 weeks until next league start and so on. So I'm here to just try it again, making another try on this one. It has gotten some nerfs. I'm gonna talk about that one a little bit later. It's about the Immortal Call change. But yeah, how does this build work and why the hell, does it work the way it does, okay? So basically we have 3 different cast when image taken setups. So the usual thing that you have to do is, in one hand, spawn corpses. In the second hand, don't worry about that, that's the trigger edict of Tempest on hit, the gloves here, that just doesn't matter. So in one hand you have to spawn corpses. In the second hand you have to spawn your mines, right? And in the third hand, you have to detonate those to actually spawn your volatiles, okay? And they are doing a certain amount of damage, and it's pretty nice boss DPS. So what you have to do basically is just spawning corpses, spawning mines, detonate mines, spawning corpses, mines, and you keep on going like that, okay? So when we're using the Skull's Brittle, this is an item that has a very specific unique term which says your skills deal 400% of mana spent on skill mana cost as physical damage. And this is one of a few variations to proc yourself cast when image taken setups, right? So there's another one with these, what's it called, this fire amulet, like Eye of Innocence or something, where you get fire damage and so on. That's also a way to do it. But I thought, like, I want to have a good amount of damage. I actually want to one-shot bosses, or at least like one-tap bosses with this build at a certain stage. Usually not on 68, but somewhere later. And yeah, I think like going low life for this, cause all of these skills like Volatile that is a spell, so we're scaling spell damage and so on. So how does this work? So as I said, every time we're spawning something, you see that my energy shield here is dropping because we get 400% of that damage from our mana cost. I'm currently having like 99 mana cost. That means about like 99 times 4, which is about 400 damage that I'm getting every time I'm casting my mines, okay? And as you see, I'm actually probably would kill myself at some point. So what we're gonna do is we have 1 cast when image taken setup that goes into Unearth, Greater Multiple Projectiles, and Volley support. The thing is here, Unearth just spawns corpses, right? With GMP and Volley support, we have additional projectiles, and since the Unearth is actually a projectile, we're just spawning more. So we're gonna get the first cast when image taken setup into here, so as soon as we spawn our mines, we also gonna generate some corpses here, as you see. The second cast when image taken setup is going to be Desecrate, Steel Skin, and Increase Duration. This would have actually been Immortal Call at a previous stage, but I'm going to explain why it is no more. So here is Desecrate, it's another corpse generation. So we are using cast when image taking Desecrate and cast when image taking Unearth to spawn a big amount of corpses every time we're triggering our mines. The next thing is we have our detonate mines linked with a cast when image taking as well. So now my spells here, my Volatile Dead will in one hand spawn corpses, in the second place the mines, and in the third just detonate those mines. And this is how it looks like when I'm just holding down my Volatile that here, right? I'm just spawning corpses, spawning Volatiles, and just detonating everything over and over again. This is especially quite nice, because if you would do this with Arc or any other kind of mine skill, it would detonate those. So let's say the map device is our boss in this case, right? And he is like in his face, like Uber Elder, where they're just talking at the moment, you know. You cannot really prepare those. You really need to set your mines, and as soon as they're active, detonate mines, you know. This way, they're just talking, and you're just standing there relaxing, you know, and just spawn your Volatiles, and as soon as they're getting active, there is, I don't know, like 30, 40 balls that are just hunting down the enemy. And this is a pure one-button build, if you don't count in Flame Dash as a movement skill, because usually you're just running and just do like this, you know, and the balls would just hunt down everything that's in the path, right? Okay, this is from the playstyle, how does the mechanic itself work? So, I actually wanted to do Uber Elder at level 65, but the damage was not enough at that point, so I decided to take this usual alias extra chaos damage ones that we are used to play with Winter Orb, for example. Remember? Everything like with Eternity Shroud, but the alias extra chaos gives you a lot of damage, right? And this could also be played with the Eternity Shroud on top of that to make like a really, really insane damage, but this is something futuristic, okay? So, okay, these are my wands here. They're just spell damage. I used to have these weapons on level 64, I think. These were my old weapons for discharge, you know. They are just having crit strike chance, which doesn't count for the spells. This is a base crit for the weapon. That's a melee attack crit. Then we have lightning damage to spells is not too mandatory since we're a fire build. It's still a little bit damage. Attack speed doesn't matter. Hits cannot be evaded, doesn't matter. So the only thing that here counts is a little bit spell damage and some lightning damage to spells. So I was using those at level 65, trying to kill Uber Elder, but after like 5 sets, I was like, you know, the longer the fight lasts, the harder it will get, because there is so much degen on the floor and so on. So I just thought, like, let's just create the weapons that we're going to use at the end of the build, which is fire damage to spells, spell damage, extra chaos, alias chaos, and so on. So these weapons here, compared to those weapons, gave me more than twice my DPS, and this is why this character is doing already a quite amount of damage at level 68. There will come a lot more DPS at the end of the stage, because I'm using bullshit items, to be honest, right? There is a lot of other items that I would like to use, like a Mark of the Shaper, for example, a crystal belt, some better gloves, maybe fingerless silk gloves, some better boots, you know, rings. Like, there is a lot of stuff that I would like to use, especially with higher levels, more skill points, more auras, more damage in general, right? Okay, there is another thing that I want to mention here. Cast when damage taken triggers at 528 damage. So the problem here at the moment is, since I'm using 396 damage that I'm getting at the moment, means I have to cast it multiple times to spawn things. The trick about this build is you need to get your energy shield regen as high as possible. So we have the Ascendancy here that gives us 1% life regen per second for each of your mines detonated recently. That's a lot, up to 20%. So you're gonna see, as soon as I start, I'm dropping life over and over again. But once these stack up, I'm starting to regen faster and faster, and at some point I'm actually gaining life, although I'm actually hitting myself over and over again, okay? And this is the point where I'm reaching this 20%. The next thing is, you need to have a lot of regen. The easiest thing to make this build possible is to stand in your hideout and really check your energy shield bar over here. It can be played as a live build as well. I just thought like the energy shield, like the low life version, makes it better. So that means you have to check if you're spawning mines continuously, are you actually regenning or are you dying? Okay, this is a fact that you have to take care of. And that's why I'm using a bunch of this regen stuff right here. Like the belt here has increased energy shield recovery rate. That our energy shield recovers faster than usual. This doesn't even have a perfect implicit. I'm a noob. Holy shit. Okay, the other things here. This is just max ES here. Then we have Syntrax with a regen if you've been hit recently, right? And since I'm hitting myself with this boots enchant, the 2% life regen are active all the time, okay? So then I have regen. Where is more regen? Here's some more ES. Wait a second, regen. The problem is, here we have some more regen, here we have some regen, although this is mana regen, doesn't matter. The problem here is that I'm low level. That means I cannot really take full advantage of my whole regen that I would like to have. And this is why I will finish this build like level 90 and just make it more insanely stupid. So the reason why I'm actually want to have more regen is this one, the Fevered Mind. So as I said, I'm dealing myself 396 damage at the moment, and cast when damage taken triggers at 528. Means that on the first couple of things, it's not always proccing, you know, sometimes only corpses, sometimes only volatiles, and so on. It still was enough damage to kill the Uber Elder, right? But if you're taking this one now, 100% increased mana cost of skills, if we put this over here, for example, now my Volatile Dad cost 229% mana, right? So 229 times 4 means I'm getting 900 damage per second, right? Or at least per cast. And as you see here, there is no freaking way that I can regen that. In one hand, I'm having too much mana cost to actually keep my my mana pool high enough, and on the other hand, if I'm just spamming this one, I would die because I have too much mana cost. At a certain point, at a certain level, I will have enough regen to take care of that. Enough mana regen, enough energy shield, enough basic regen that I can actually proc all cast with damage taken setups every time I'm using my volatiles, right? That will just boost up the DPS because the volatiles will be more frequently and just more volatiles in total. So that's the reason why I'm not using that kind of jewel right now. So perfect. Let's go over the gear real quick. Path of Building link, as always, is in the description below. So let's take a look. Skull's Birdle, as I said, if you can have it, is the volatile that summon up, or at least uses up one more corpse. So more volatiles, more damage. Here I have the first cast when damage taken setup with a Detonate Mines. Then I have Discipline and Herald of Ash. Then we have our two weapons. They're pretty much the same, ally damage, multi-modded. You're just gonna spam your alterations, then Regal and Yule, and then multi-modded. Here we have Flame Dash, faster casting, and Arcane Surge. So every time I'm using my Flame Dash, I can actually get my Arcane Surge, so we're dealing more damage. On the offhand, I have Anger with Blood Magic. It's in a kind of low state. Since I'm level 68, I cannot use level 21 gems or anything like that. Means that these gems are mostly level 70 here. And this soaks up like how much percent? 97% of my life. Okay, so I'm having actually 3% life just to have like more damage here, right? God, my PC is so bad. If I scroll in, there is just so much stuff going on that my FPS just goes down the roof. Okay, so clarity because of my Watcher's Eye that I will go over in a bit. Then we have our shafts. So Chevron's wrapping is mandatory in this build because it enables us to run low life without a big deal, cause chaos damage does not bypass your energy shield. So you have life and you have energy shield as a base on your life pool, right? But chaos damage does ignore the energy shield. So I have basically 18 life against chaos damage. So whatever does chaos damage will instantly kill me, right? That's why I'm using a shaft, so chaos damage does not bypass energy shield. And here I have Volatile Dead, Trap and Mine damage support, Remote Mine, Minefield support, Conk Effect, and Combustion support for the damage here, right? So Trap and Mine, Remote Mine, those kind of stuff is just to throw more traps at once. Then on the Presence of Chayula as the amulet, I have mine with Discipline, increased aura effect, so I'm having more energy shield. But this is mandatory for 20% max life converted to energy shield, stun immunity, chaos resistance. Overall, shafts with Presence of Chayula goes hand in hand in quite a lot of builds. For the rest of the items, this just like energy shield resistance, energy shield resistance, energy shield resistance, energy shield resistance. It's great to have energy shield recovery here. That's a shaped base here. And Sintrek is a pretty cheap boot for a lot of energy shield. They can have up to 150 max energy shield and energy shield on the base of that. So it's actually a lot of energy shield that I'm getting here. If I'm unequipping those, I'm losing like 600-700 energy shield just by the boots. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're having like really good items, you're high level. Oh, come on. It's always a little bit nasty if you're having to equip your items before. So do we have anything with dexterity at the moment? Probably this will fix it. Wait a second. Remove 1, 2. 1, 2. Shit, I don't get that. Anyways, goddammit. Okay, you better check that you have enough dexterity because these boots give dexterity. So how much am I missing for dexterity? Maybe actually, wait a second. If we remove this one for now and then just put anything dexterity-like. Where do we have dexterity? Here. So, equip this one, put this one in, remove the point again. Oh god, this kill tree shenanigans here. Wow. But as I said, these boots give you a lot of energy shield. They are pretty cheap, and with the enchant, I think I paid like less than an X, or maybe an X for these boots. So that's pretty affordable here as well. So gloves have caster damage taken, desecrate, steel skin, and increased duration support, and the boots have caster damage taken, unearth, GMP, and volley support for more projectiles. For the flask, it's Serious Promise, extra LES chaos damage, some leech. Then we have a bleed immunity with sulfur flask for more life regen, or at least energy shield regen, because the sulfur flask gives you consecrated ground, and consecrated ground gives you, I think, 6% life regen, and since we're using Zealot's Oath, we have 6% energy shield regen. Then a diamond flask with freeze immunity, because we are a crit build, so the base crit, the crit strike chances luck is pretty good. A wise oak for a damage penetration that is mandatory. Like, if you need to check that your fire resistance, the one in the brackets here, is the highest among all your resistance, so you're getting the fire penetration, since this is a pure fire build, right? And then a Quicksilver Flask to just move faster. So one thing I wanted to mention about the Immortal Call. Immortal Call made you immune for a certain amount of time. This was actually mandatory in this build at some point, because you used to have cast when damage taken, Blood Rage, Desecrate, Immortal Call. What that means was you're having Blood Rage on autocast, so every time you proc your mines, you're gonna get the Blood Rage effect, so you're getting physical damage over time. And with proccing your Immortal Call, that stopped the damage over time for a certain amount of duration. And then you got basically the Soul of Oracali, the second stat, 50% increased recovery of life and energy shield if you've stopped taking damage over time recently. Means proccing Blood Rage, getting physical damage over time, proccing Immortal Call, stop taking physical damage over time, and proc your Aracali upgrade, so you're getting a bunch of regen over here. This doesn't work anymore because the Immortal Call doesn't make you immune to physical damage anymore unless you have, like, I don't know how many endurance charges, right? Because you're just getting less physical damage, and the more endurance charges you have, the less damage you get. So at a certain point you should be immune, but it's like 6 or 7 endurance charges, which is something we will not get as a Saboteur here, right? Alright, so the next thing here, Pantheons. Let's talk about those real quick. As I said, this doesn't work anymore. Maybe I'll find another way to proc this, because this will actually make us use the Fevered Mind to get more damage, to proc more volatiles per second and get more damage, but at the moment I cannot survive that. And then I have Soul of Yugel at the moment with the upgrade for reduced cold damage taking if you've been hit recently, which means that I'm just having an easier time and not getting, like, easily one-shot by the Elder Spikes, right? Okay, let's talk about the skill tree real quick. I'm using the Pyromaniac. This is the most important thing here because of the regen. Then a second and third lap is the mine node, so we're getting more mines and damage here. And then Born in the Shadows, because the blind also helps the survivability. So, pretty much usual trap and mine skill tree going over here, taking the trap and mine nodes here. Some more energy shield leech coming from the spell damage, mana reservation, more and more nodes. At the moment running 60 plus dex and 60 plus strength, because I cannot wear any of the other items at the moment, because my items are just shit. It is like it is level 68, what do you expect? Although for level 68 the items are good, but would I've been like level 90 or something, the gear would be definitely different. And I'm going to upload the upgrade of this build with some boss killing clips in like 2 or 3 days once I'm done leveling up and gearing this character. Alright, so one thing that is super important here is the Watcher's Eye. I'm having a triple Clarity Watcher's Eye, which is completely not necessary. There's only a 2 mod Watcher's Eye that you actually want to have, and this is chance to recover maximum mana if you use a skill while affected by Clarity, and damage taken gain this mana over 4 seconds when you when hit while affected by Clarity. Holy shit. So, okay, what does these 2 mods do? Basically, if I'm not having Clarity, you're gonna see that I'm dropping my mana after 4 spells, 5 spells, I'm out of mana. The thing is, with these 2 mods, I'm getting damage all the time, right? So I'm getting a percentage of the damage that I'm doing back as mana, and also randomly like 10% or 15% chance 15%, I recover 10% of maximum mana when I use a skill. So I'm basically always using skills. So based on the damage that I'm getting, as you see my mana pool, I'm actually having absolutely no troubles spamming that away. This would also come in handy when I'm using the Fevered Minded one stage, because I need to have a hell of a mana regen to make this possible, to constantly making those volatiles, right? So the 2 mod, as I said, damage taken gain this mana, and the chance, like, I would say first hand is the damage taken gain this mana. Second is the chance to recover mana when you use a skill, okay? The third one, the increased mana recovery rate, is something that is not necessary, but I got this one for pretty cheap. Based on like a triple clarity, should actually be 50-60 exalts. I got this one for 20 or 25 exalts, and as a triple mod I thought like, yeah, let's just buy it. I don't really care, because I'm having absolutely too much currency to just like, you know, just use it. But it's not mandatory for the build at all, okay? Okay, so what else do we need? Mana reservation. I'm using here double energy within. One with corrupted blood, one with silence. Well, the silence is not here anymore. Reap! I wanted to use that actually. Was there none on the market? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, Corrupted Blood is actually kind of fine to have, especially for mapping. And this transforms all of these nodes into energy shield nodes. Don't forget to use Pain Attunement when you're low life, so you get the 30% more spell damage. That's actually a big chunk of damage, should be actually. So let's check. Here I'm having 37 damage, and here I'm having now 48. So that's a bunch of damage that I'm getting more here. Hey, wait a second, it's 30%. So, perfect. Then some more trap and mine nodes, damage, energy shield, life, blah, 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 and Zealot's Oath to have the regen on energy shield instead of life. Alright, we talked about the gear, the flasks, the skill tree. As I said, path of building link is in the description below. Pantheons, as I said, I have here Solaris at the moment and Yugel. This is not even upgraded, so I didn't really care about that one. And for the bandits, I helped Alira because we're a crit build, energy, like crit multiplier and all resistance, which is quite fine. Let's talk about the cosmetic real quick. The full Infernal Helm, Infernal Body Armor, Infernal Gloves and Boots. Then we have Ultimate Chaos Character Effect, Infernal Footprints, Double Seraph Dagger with Cult of Darkness effect. And I'm just wondering why I'm actually not wearing any kind of cool fancy wings. Maybe this one, maybe Phoenix, maybe. Yeah, Phoenix looks quite fine. Perfect. Okay, now the MTX is complete. I'm not using Volatile that because it's a fire build and I like the fire volatiles more than the Stygian black volatiles, okay? Then Dragon Flame Dash, then we have Betrayal Aura effect, Carnage, Automaton Herald effect, Lava Aura effect, and yeah, nothing for Desecrate. So, okay, I think I'm done with this. I will give you now the full Uber Elder run that I've did like yesterday on level 68 Uber Elder down, which is quite nice. I did not expect to pull it off that fast. It was a couple of sets, to be honest, but not too many. So, I'm now leveling this build up to probably like level 90-ish and so on, and then we're gonna get some really good gear in here. I do have from other builds some nice shields here, like this one, for example. A lot of energy shield, crit, double resistance. Then I having my gloves here that I crafted for my I think the discharge was it or something. Damage, good resistance, and yeah, so I have some gear prepared here that I used on other characters, so I'm actually looking forward to get this one up and then just equipping those and see how fast can I kill Shaper, how fast can I kill Guardians. Will it be within 1 second? Because I think I'm probably gonna scale this one up to about 250,000 Shaper damage per Shaper ball, per ball, right? And if we're just saying here, like, how many balls will I have? Quite a lot. So if everything hits together, it should be a couple million damage within a blink of an eye. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. You know, the key in this fight is just don't get hit. Easy.
Exile, do something.
Ooh, that slow was nasty there. That slow was actually nasty. He's still slowing. Shaper slam. 3, 2. Now we go.
Into the abyss.
The degen is so nasty here. When you're bound on your regeneration itself. Hey, actually easy. Uber Elder level 68, Volatile that Auto Miner, dude. Nice build, TM. Wasn't too hard. Yeah, there we go. Easy clap. Okay, now give me a triple something good. Hatred, Grace, Haste. What the fuck is this shit? Oh, well, Grace movement speed is not that bad. But actually, hey, I did it. That was not too hard, actually. With the right amount of damage. And, you know, just don't get hit. You know, so...